that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace.
Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Whether you are here in person or whether you are joining us online, I am so excited that you are here. And of course, I know I say it every week, we have an awesome service plan today. I'm super looking forward to it. So We are rounding out our month on creativity, talking about boldly go, as in boldly go where no one has gone before. You might be familiar with that phrasing. And so we have, I will be speaking today. We have Lynn Hollyfield, our music director, providing music for us today. Welcome back, Lynn. It's good to have you here. Rich Kurashevitz is our practitioner on platform today. Yay, Rich. Oh, yep, we can clap for everybody. That's totally fine. And then we have an extra special guest. So if y'all remember, Nancy Newman was our artist of the week last week. This week, we have Miriam Catellis as, as our guest artist this week. Yay, Miriam! And what's really cool about this is that Miriam has her artwork up at Palette 22 in Arlington, in Shirlington. And she goes and paints at Palette 22, the restaurant, twice a month. And we went, Reverend Ryan and I and a couple of our friends went and got tapas and watched Miriam paint and got to hang out with her on Friday night. And it was just awesome. So you guys are in for a real treat today. So yay, Miriam. Also, as I was reminded this morning, I have forgotten birthdays for, I think, probably every month so far this year. But if you have a birthday or an anniversary in April, raise your hand or drop when the anniversary or birthday is into the chat if you are online so that we can celebrate y'all. So raise your hands. I saw a few hands raised. Yay! Happy birthday! This is also our final week of doing our creative art bulletin board, the interactive bulletin board. Y'all, if you are online and you haven't seen it, it's looking awesome. So if you are online and you have not added a word to our bulletin board yet, drop your word of what you are bringing, your creativity and your intention to Celebration Center. Drop that word into the chat for us. We will add it to the bulletin board for you. And if you are here in the room and you have not done something on the board, this is your week. So we are asking everyone, I don't care if you know how to paint, I don't care if you don't know how to paint, I don't care if you've never held a paintbrush in your life. Everybody can add something to the bulletin board, and I invite you to do that after the service. Next week, everybody take a breath. Next week, we are going to be trying an experiment. If you remember, we shifted the order of service around a little bit a few times since I've come, just with all of the changing and the hybrid and the live stream and the in-person and the not in-person and all of that. And next week, we're going to be shifting the order of service around again. So don't get too comfortable. It's just an experiment. We'll see if it works. We'll see if we like it. If we don't, we'll go back. It's okay, no problems. But next week, you will notice that the service is going to be different than what you are used to, just a little bit, not too much, all right? So we're just going to breathe through it together, y'all. Also, on Saturday. On Saturday morning, April 30th at 8 a.m., Miriam is leading a hike. It is going to be at Lake, I didn't actually ask you. Actink Park. We are going to be meeting under the train tracks. It's going to be an easy hike, 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out. She's asking for you to bring water and breakfast. We'll meet at 8, we'll hike, and then we'll sit and eat breakfast together. So if you'd like to join us, all are welcome to join us. You can go at your own pace, no problems at all. And then finally, so I have been telling y'all that we are really committed to keeping our community time and making sure that everybody online is able to participate in our community time after service. And so that is beginning today. So every week at 12:20, so that gives us a little time if you're at home online to take a bio break, get some food, whatever you need to do, or here in person, that gives you time once again bio break food or to chat with one another. And then beginning at 12:20, you can meet on Zoom or here in person in the sanctuary, and we are going to have a different activity each week. And it's going to rotate out monthly, so if you love one thing, you can come for just that one thing. If you love all the things, you can come for all the things. If you love everything but one thing, you can come to everything but the one thing, whatever works for you. And this week, we are beginning it at 12:20 with a sing-along with Lynn Hollyfield. So super excited about that. Yay! You can participate online. Just go to celebrationcenter.org and click on that Enter Zoom Events at 12:20. And if we're not quite on yet, that means we're having technical issues, but we're coming. But we did test everything this morning, so we're not expecting any issues. And then here in the room, and we have words for you. There are song packets up here if you're here in the room, or we'll be sharing our screens so you can see the words at home. And it's just going to be a really beautiful time. It's making a joyful noise, not a good noise. So you can come whether you can sing or not. We will love to have you. So I look forward to that at 12:20. And then other things that we will be doing include the community connection that we've done in the past with the prayer requests and the check-in question. We're going to be doing a Science of Mind Q&A, where if you're new, you have no clue what Science of Mind is, you can bring your questions. If you're old, you've been here forever, and you have that one niggling question that nobody's ever been able to answer, bring it. I don't know if I'll be able to answer it, but we can have a discussion about it. So a Q&A, and then also game time. So if y'all remember, a couple months ago, we played Pictionary, and it was so much fun on Zoom. So we're going to be doing more stuff like that, Pictionary and scavenger hunts, and who knows what we'll come up with. So join us each week at 12:20 for those community times. And with all of that, I invite you to say our vision aloud with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Yes, we are.
A beautiful song about the season we're in. The trees just exploded this week with their leaves, right? So this song kind of captures that. It's called Spring. Winter fades, forget the cold. Spring greens and never look so bold. Against blue skies and leafless trees, getting ready to burst out with signs of spring. The spring peepers, birds in song, their busyness and singing all day long. Bulbs break ground and falling rain, so happy to greet spring again. Daffodils, baby leaves, waving wind and give a gentle breeze. Spring rain, rustle streams, wake up roots from your winter dreams. The spring peepers, birds in song, their busyness and singing all day long. Bulbs break ground and falling rain, so happy to greet spring again. Trees dance in the sun, squirrels relax, your winter work it's done. The garden is calling me, my hands in dirt, it's where I wanna be. The spring peepers, birds in song, their busyness and singing all day long. Bulbs break ground and falling rain, so happy to greet spring again. I'm happy. Are you happy? So happy to greet spring. Oh, yeah.
Happy Orthodox Easter and Ramadan. Good morning. My name is Rich Kurashevitz, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the Center, which is a welcoming community based on the principles of science of mind. First of all, we welcome any newcomers. If you don't mind, please identify yourself by raising your hand or sending a text in chat to let us know how you found us. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to getting to know you better. Practitioners are trained and then certified over a period of several years to pray or treat by knowing and seeing the truth in any situation. We are available to all of you to assist in a practitioner session or pray for something you wish to change in your life or for a loved one, or to express gratitude and or continuation of something in your life or for others. You may submit a prayer request by filling out a green card which you found in the baskets in the front of the church or on the side, or by going online to the website, or via email to prayer@celebrationcenter.org. The Ministry of Prayer and each prayer practitioner will pray on the prayer requests every day of the week. We acknowledge and are grateful for all the prayer requests that are or will be submitted. We know that all these prayers are already answered as they are thought and written and believed. These prayers and affirmations are set in motion right now. And so it is. Today's reading is by Ernest Holmes from Living the Science of Mind. Peace is at the center of your own soul. It is the very being of your being. This peace, which is at the center of your being, has never been disturbed. It has never been afraid. It never desired to harm anyone. Therefore, it has never been hurt. You are to use it consciously. You are to speak the word of peace whenever discord appears. You must know that your peace has all power because it is the peace of God within you. It is something that always existed. It awaits your recognition that you may enter into conscious partnership with it. Enshrined in the heart of God, there is a voice within you which says, "Peace, be not afraid, it is I." This I is you. This you is God within you. This God within you is peace. And so we pray. Take a nice deep breath and let it out. As we let go of all the cares, worries, concerns, and are just here in the present. Take another deep breath and let it out. And know that as we are breathing in unison, we are breathing in unison with the entire universe. For God is the power and the presence. God is eternal and immortal, all good, pure love, and all there is. God created the universe, and the universe is made manifest, the one life and mind, omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And I am that I am. I am and God are one. My mind is the mind of God. Spirit is within me. I am a co-creator and the light of the world. I affirm there is only one life. That life is God. That life is my life right now. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, each and every one is present, is perfect, whole, complete, eternal, and immortal. I declare that we all are at peace, which is our natural state in the secret place of the Most High within. The kingdom of God is within each and everyone and is available to all who recognize this by raising the God consciousness to this truth. I know that as we embrace the God qualities that are available by going within, peace, love, joy, abundance, wholeness are ours. It is through faith, trust, and belief that we know it is done unto us as we believe. I know that the gifts are already made, and we accept them in gratitude. Life is good and very good. I'm so very grateful for all the blessings of the universe and the goodness everywhere present, in everyone and everything. I'm so grateful for the truth that sets us free to live our lives on purpose, in peace and harmony, and boldly. And I release my word unto the law, where it is already known in the mind of God, and is assured of fulfillment. This is the word of God, and will not return unto me void. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Okay, here's a song for the trees. I've got the tree blues. I may look like a piece of wood, but I got feelings too. I wanna grow and touch the blue sky. I started as a seedling. My friends, they let me grow. Now some man comes to threaten me with a mighty chainsaw. You work for me, I'll work for you. I'll give you shade in the summer. I'll give you flowers in the spring and colors in the fall. We like to stick together, but we're getting torn apart. I wish I grew in the early days before the cutting started. You work for me and I'll work for you. I'll give you shade in the summer. I'll give you flowers in the spring and colors in the fall. I got the tree blues. I may look like a piece of wood, but I got feelings too. I wanna grow and touch the blue sky.
You, Lynn. And I am welcoming Miriam up to join me. Yay! So we will see what she does. So first of all, happy Earth Day, everyone. I didn't mention that. I had a lot of announcements this morning. Happy Earth Day. I believe it was on Thursday? Friday. And, you know, I think every day is Earth Day. Every day should be Earth Day. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Oh, creativity, y'all. Creativity. So I have to admit that this week I got a little carried away in learning about creativity. So I have a lot of thoughts swirling around in my brain because I think I mentioned last week that I'm doing this Breathe, Create, Dream, this 30 days of creative inspiration. And so I'm doing that and I'm getting inspired every morning and I'm doing lots of artwork. And then I had this really cool conversation with Miriam in which she was talking about the way that she approaches her art. And that was really inspiring to me. And then that wasn't quite enough. And so I listened to 2 podcasts that Brene Brown did with, her name is slipped my mind, but I have it right here, with Sarah Lewis on her book about creativity that she wrote, and that was a 2-part series. So I listened to all of that, and then on Tuesday, we went to the coolest thing. So Reverend Ryan and I, with a couple of our friends, we went to Janelle Monáe's book release for her book, The Memory Librarian. So here it is. It's really hard to see if you're on camera, but I actually have it if you want to grab it. It's under Janelle Monáe as an overlay so that you can see it. Oh, maybe. So who has heard of Janelle Monáe? By a show of hands. Awesome. Like a quarter of the room, maybe a third of the room. So Janelle Monáe is one of my greatest inspirations, and she is just a badass. Like, she just is. So she has created, she started as a singer-songwriter. She's created some amazing albums, including one in 2018 called Dirty Computer. And this album was made into a series of music videos that was made into a short movie. It's 48 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube under Dirty Computer, Janelle Monáe. And it is Afrofuturism, which is the idea, it's a cultural aesthetic and philosophy of science and history that explores the developing intersection of the African diaspora culture with science and technology. And it envisions Black futures that stem from diasporic experiences. It most often falls into sci-fi, but it can also be fantasy, magical realism, alternate history, all of these different genres. And it crosses its books and its art and its music and its audio and its podcasts and it's all of these things. So I read a lot of Afrofuturist work because I love sci-fi, and I have found that this work is brilliantly creative and truly at the cutting edge of imagining what a world that works for everyone could potentially look like. So I haven't read the book yet. It was actually released on Tuesday, and we all got copies for going to this event. But the event was Janelle Monáe speaking with Kimberly Drew, who is another Afrofuturist sci-fi writer, and Alea Don Johnson, who is another Afrofuturist writer who collaborated on this book as well. And I got all kinds of ideas from there. So I'm going to be talking more about that and about what Janelle Monáe said, but it's just been a week of like really rich creativity stuff. And so when I think about this idea of boldly going forth, we've talked over the weeks of creativity. We talked about creativity and what it is and how it is everything and that all of us are creative, right? Like the very act of living our lives is creating ourselves. And we talked about the resistance that comes up, right? Like when we make a decision and we step more fully into our creativity, all of a sudden what rises up within is all of the resistance. Reverend Ryan talked about that a couple of weeks ago, and how that resistance is actually a way forward, that we don't have to try to go around the resistance or view it as an obstacle, but instead that it can be this directing force that supports us in our forward motion. And then last week we talked about this idea of our creativity being that resurrecting force within us. So we've covered this whole span of ourselves as creative beings. And so what's left but to boldly go forth into the world knowing our own creativity? And so I was thinking about, what does it mean to boldly go, right? As opposed to like timidly go. And I was thinking about the number one thing that I have to do to live my life in a bold way is to show up in my authenticity. And that's hard, right? Sometimes it's super easy, like I'm with my people and I'm in my community, and it's easy to be me around the people that love and support me. But to boldly go forth and to boldly step into my creativity and my authenticity means that I have to do it all the time, not just when it's easy. And not just when I'm nice and pretty and put together and my authenticity looks really nice and it's a pretty little package with a bow that I can just hand you and be like, look at my authenticity, isn't it beautiful? I sprinkled glitter on top. Because sometimes my authenticity is messy, right? Sometimes it's a masterpiece and sometimes it's a mess. And in order to boldly, authentically show up, we have to embrace both of those things, and that really kind of sucks sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to embrace my authenticity. Sometimes I really wish that that part of me wasn't a part of me. And so this idea of bold to me is to step into this idea that, yes, it's all me. It's all me. And sometimes we drop the pen, and that's okay. We just keep going, right? So Raymond Charles Barker, in his book, The Science of Successful Living, says, the full symphony of your real self can only be heard when all the windows of your mind are open to the fullness of life. And so this idea of boldly going means that we have to open ourselves, open all of our windows up to all of the weather, the rain, the sun, the spring, the pollen, the great pollinating, right? All of the things. And sometimes it's a masterpiece and sometimes it's a mess. Now, Janelle Monáe on Tuesday, one of the things that she said was, making things is hard. That's what she said. And I thought that was really interesting because this woman is like the queen of putting out incredible stuff, right? I mean, just profound music and videos and art and now books and all of these things. And what she said was making things is hard because not only do we have to get ourselves out of the way and we have to overcome that sort of blank page syndrome when you're staring at the empty canvas or the empty screen on the computer to write or whatever it is, not only do we have to overcome that, but then once we put our creation out into the world, we have to be willing to have people not like it or reject it or not respond in the way that we expect them to, whether our expectations are valid or not. Reverend Ryan has learned that, I've told y'all about my art journal before, and if you want to see some pictures out of it, go look at my last week's ministerial musing on YouTube or Facebook because I showed it off a little bit. Reverend Ryan has learned that when I bring them my art journal and they say, look at what I did, that they need to actually stop and look, because my expectation is that they're going to be fully present in that moment. And I have learned, because it's not all on them to respond in the way that I want them to, I have learned to ask for what I need. And so I go, hey, honey, I did something in my art journal. Do you have time right now to look at it? Is now a good time for you? And so in that way, we can begin to have this reciprocal activity of getting our needs met and meeting other people's needs in the way that works for them, right? So authenticity, making things is hard. And sometimes they're not going to. Sometimes we can line everything up right, and it still just doesn't work. So the next thing that I want to talk about is success versus mastery. And I think that I think that Miriam is a really good indication of this success versus mastery. And it was our conversation where I really kind of got this visual of what it looks like. And so success is focusing on the arrival, focusing on the destination. And mastery is focusing on the reach. I'm going to say that again. Success is focusing on the arrival, and mastery is focusing on the reach. So what does that mean? It means that mastery is not merely a commitment to a goal, but to a curved line, a constant pursuit. And all of these little phrases and catches are coming from the Brene Brown podcast with Sarah Lewis. And so do y'all remember, Ivor, will you pull up the asymptote overlay? Do y'all remember these little persnickety guys from school, the asymptotes? And so you were given a formula, right? Or maybe you were given a graph and you had to figure out the formula, or you were given a formula and you had to figure out the graph. And the graph the line goes, if you look, it goes very close to whatever that blue line is, but it never touches, right? And if your line touched whatever that asymptote was, then you got points marked off. At least that's the way it was in my math class, right? So this mastery, you can take it down now, Ivor, thank you. This mastery is understanding that if we are reaching and striving for that asymptote, for that blue line, we're never going to quite get there. That in every arrival is going to be a new place to reach, a new goal, a new horizon, right? And Ernest Holmes talks about this. He talks about how the individual soul is ever and ever evolving, and that every completion is simply a new beginning to what is next. And so to commit ourselves to mastery of creating our lives is to commit ourselves to the constant pursuit of mastery, right? I would say that our society, the American society, and I would probably bet that a lot of, especially Western society, is focused on success. We're focused on meeting that goal, meeting that deadline, making sure we look good in the eyes of our boss, making sure that we hit our sales goals or whatever it may be, that there is an end goal and we're trying to reach it, and once we reach it, we have landed on success. And yet I think that science of mind, by definition, this ever-evolving experience, is a philosophy of mastery. And so when we're willing to boldly go, what we are saying is, I am willing to commit my life to never, ever finishing, never reaching the goal, always having more to strive towards. The other thing that comes up for me is that when we're on this striving for mastery, and this difference between success and mastery is that there's an opposite to success, right? You can either succeed in something or you can fail. You can make your goal or you can miss your goal. You can hit your sales targets or you can miss your sales targets, whatever it might be, right? That there's a yes, you did it, or a nope, you failed, right? But I think with mastery, there's no such thing as failure. What Sarah Lewis says about failure, she says, the word failure is imperfect. Once we begin to transform it, it ceases to be that any longer. The term is always slipping off the edges of our vision, not simply because it's hard to see without wincing, but because once we are ready to talk about failure, we often call the event something else, a learning experience, a trial, a reinvention. It's no longer the static concept of failure. And so when we're on this pursuit of mastery, there's no such thing as failure, because the failures are just turned into more success or different success or more ways of headed in that direction towards that asymptote, right? And so to me, even though this idea of never completing, right, never having a destination where I'm like, I have arrived, yes. And I remember when I was in oneness, that was the thing, was you want it to be enlightened. And they used to say, if you're asking if you're enlightened, you're not. because enlightened people don't care if they're enlightened or not, right? And so I would have these amazing experiences, these out-of-body experiences, and I would meditate for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I would come out of it, and I would be so blissful and so happy, and I would go, am I enlightened? Crap. Every time, right? And so this idea of mastery is to say, oh, well, I'm never going to reach that point. I'm never going to reach that. I'm enlightened and I can stop doing all of my work and I don't have to do anything else because life is just going to be perfect from now on. But I think the flip side, the benefit of living in this place of mastery instead of this place of success is that there's no such thing as failure. So to boldly go becomes so much easier because we can step out and trust that any sort of failure or misstep or mistake will be transformed. And maybe it'll be transformed and it's just a little smudge and you can wipe it away, or maybe it's transformed and you got to make a 180, or maybe it's transformed in ways that you never really wanted to live through or figure out. But either way, there's this constant evolution that transforms every mess into a masterpiece in some way or another. And so to me, boldly going becomes so much easier when I'm living my life as a life of the pursuit of mastery instead of the pursuit of success. So Miriam was talking to me about how she does her tree art. I can't even call it paintings because it's these like 3D masterpieces. And she said, the first thing I do is paint the backgrounds. And then I put the trees on, and then I paint the trees. So it's this kind of back to forward view. And I was thinking about that and this idea of boldly going, because for me, when I'm staring at this blank page and I'm going to do some sort of something on it, art or writing or figuring out what the order of service is going to look like or whatever it may be, whatever creative endeavor that I'm reaching towards, to me, if I can just boldly smatter that background on, then everything else falls into place. And so that is the first step when we're painting a background, when we're painting the grandness of the sky or the backdrop of the mountains or, the ground or whatever it may be, we can't timidly paint the sky, right? The sky is not timid. It is bold, and it is big, and it is beautiful, and it is unapologetic in the amount of space and awareness that it takes up in our presence. And so if we can just boldly step out and do something as simple as paint the sky, then it's like everything else just falls into place on top of it. And so Rumi says, with passion pray, with passion work, with passion make love, with passion eat and drink and dance and play. Why look like a dead fish in the ocean of God? And so to me, that's what this bold, authentic living is to do everything with passion. When we're going to make a mistake, when we're going to have what is eventually going to be a lesson or a reinvention, but at the moment looks like a failure, do it, go big or go home, right? Do it big, do it loud, do it proud. When you're drumming and you miss a beat, just keep on going and be like, yep, I did that. That was me. You heard me playing, didn't you? Because I was off beat. Just be bold in how you show up and how you live your life and how you choose to creatively express yourself in every moment, in every day. And so that is my challenge for all of us, that we say we're creating this world that works for everyone. And the first step of that is this background. And so let's just begin to paint the sky together of a world that works for everyone. And trust that as we boldly step in, and we're going to step on each other's toes, and we might add a little too much green or a little too much yellow, or there might be a black spot over there, but trust that all of it is going to come together to be this beautiful painting of what humanity looks like when we are truly living in a world that works for everyone. And so we can do that. We can step in. We can dream the dream. We can vision the vision along with people like Janelle Monáe and Kimberly Drew and Alea Dawn Johnson and all of these other people who are truly stepping into what can a world that works for me, as Janelle Monáe is a non-binary, pansexual Black artist. Right? What does a world that works for her look like? And what does the world that works for all of us look like? And we can step into that vision together and trust that our mistakes and our missteps are transformed into just further and further mastery of our own evolution of humanity. And so now I invite you into prayer. Listening to the sound of the pastels on the paper and hearing that sound as the sound of the divine moving in and through and as that pastel, that paper, as Miriam, and knowing that this experience in this moment, that each and every one of us, the sensations of this moment is God showing up and expressing and experiencing itself as God. It is the infinite playing with the infinite creating the infinite discovering the infinite in each and every moment as each and every one of us, because there is no other option. That whether we are here in the room, whether we are at home online, whether we are dressed in our most formal wear, or whether we are in our pajamas, that we are that individualized expression of spirit, that we are mastery at work. And that in every moment, in every step, in every authentic mess and authentic masterpiece, that we are truly showing up and stepping up and saying, yes, I am painting the sky of a world that works for everyone. And as we boldly step into that which is authentically us, that we are inviting and giving permission to everyone around us to boldly step into their lives. That creativity begets creativity, and therefore, each and every one of us, as we creatively step into and inspire ourselves, we trust that we are creatively inspiring one another as well. And so I am so grateful for this brilliant community of inspired, bold artists that I get to create with every moment of every day. I am so grateful for this future of a world that works for everyone that we are currently painting right now, adding our colors and our lines and our notes and our drum beats to our words. And so I simply release my word. I let it go. I know it is done as I have spoken, and even greater. That Spirit takes this and just knows the mastery that is developing in every moment, in every heartbeat, as we say together, and so it is.
I just wanna run and not be gone too long, 'cause this time is precious still. I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star make more time to see. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream. No one's taken that from you. Only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. And when you take the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. Dreaming. You gotta do it now. Whoa.
Thank you, Lynn. Oh, yes, artists everywhere, artists everywhere. I appreciated that little break so that I could watch Miriam for a second. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. And I invite you today to think about what you are bringing to the center. What is the creative gift that you are offering? And perhaps it is a tithe or an offering or a love donation, and you can do that. You can put that in either basket if you are here in the room, or you can go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button to be able to give in our Secure Breeze website. And perhaps you are also giving your love or your attention or your presence or your creativity or your inspiration or your ideas or your mere existence. What is it? What are you offering to one another and to Celebration Center today? And so as you think about that, I invite us to say our offertory affirmation together. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is.
Take a deep breath and let it go. We now bless all the gifts that are donated now or coming to the center, as we know they are given from the Spirit and from love within, as we practice the law of circulation. Money is energy. We express gratitude for this flow of energy, of good that is motivated by the love within. These gifts come to the center and go back out to the community and come back to us multiplied. This is the law of circulation. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
So it is.
Closing song, Feeling Good. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace, one day it's done, that's what I mean. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, that's how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life. A new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Thank you, Lynn. That's one of my favorites that you do. So, as a reminder, 12:20 today, that gives you a little bit of time. 12:20 today, either join us on Zoom. The Zoom link is in the chat, or also you can go to celebrationcenter.com and click, or .org, and click on Enter Zoom events, or come back here in the room, and at 12:20 we are going to do a sing-along with Lynn. The words will be provided for you. And thank you, Miriam. We will have pictures of all of the artwork up on the website. Wow. And with that, I send us all out into the world to boldly, creatively, authentically live our lives in every moment of every day, trusting that every mess and every masterpiece is part of the mastery of our lives. And so it is.